Hey everybody, this is MyCollectables coming back with another video for you. I hope you had a great weekend. This is Monday, January 24th, and I have a really good top 10 for you, I think, right now. If you don't have a lot of gems in the app, or if you're new to the app and you're looking for some really great comic books to pick up, to have in your collection that, hopefully will go up over time, and they all will for sure, definitely, the more users we get. I put together a top 10 list of the best comic books, in my opinion, right now in the app that are under 50 gems a piece. I really think that this list is really, really good. I really think there's a lot of really good stuff on there. I don't own every single one of them. I own a bunch of them for sure, but I don't own all of them, and I at some point I will have all of these in my collection. I have had a few at times and other times, and then I've sold them or bought them back, flip them, that kind of thing. But you know what? This is a great starter list, and if you're not new to the app and you've been here a while, these are some great pickups if you're looking at the Master Collector program coming up, where you want to get some really good comics to stack up, and get those points, but then also they're easy to sell later if you need to flip them or if you want to move them, because, people are going to be looking for these comics for sure. Okay, anyway, let's get right into it. Top 10 comics, best comics under 50 gems for January 2022. All right, this is just my opinion, of course, just my opinion. Here's number 10 right here. We got one of the newer ones, Web of Spider-Man number 32, okay? 21,000 editions, $27.80 right now in the marketplace, the last time I checked. Okay, I actually stacked up a bunch of these at around 18 gems each. I did a video about it just the other day about the fastest selling collectibles on Veve. That's my last video, and the Spider-Man comics were my pick for that, so spoiler alert, but still watch the video because it's got a lot of other really good content in it about that. And this is one of the comics that I picked to stack up just because it's such a beautiful cover. It's really going to get a lot of attention, and the price is so great. And just so you know, I've stacked up about 14 or 15 of these at about $17 to $18 to $22, and now they're at $27.80. It's only been 2 days later, and I sold about 4 of these yesterday, and so I could get a Deadpool first appearance, with the ugly sweater, the uncommon, and the 5 or 6 or 7 gem profit on each one, it really starts to add up. This is how you build your build your gem pool without adding more money into the app. So anyway, that's my number 10. Beautiful cover, can't go wrong with the Spider-Man comic, and it's going to be worth more than 27 as well for sure. They're usually creeping up around 30 or so, as you'll see on this list. Anyway, number 9, I have one more comic from that set of 6 that came out. This is a beautiful cover, really iconic comic with Kraven the Hunter. This one's number 293, and I love it because it's an Amazing Spider-Man comic, and Amazing Spider-Man comics, they even do better than Web of Spider-Man or Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man, because it's like the original Spider-Man, comic book line, they do really great, and this one's going for 30 gems. You can see it's just a little bit higher than the other one, right? But still, 21,000 editions, a great comic book under 50 gems. Oh, and I should have said this right at the beginning, the uncommons of all of these comics in here, I think like 9 out of 10 of them are all under 50 gems, like the uncommons as well. So that's also really good for stacking up, right? Anyway, let's go on. That's number 9. Let's go to number 8 on my list, Eternals number 1. Really great classic comic for sure, with the Eternals movie that came out. It was an okay movie, not bad. I saw it. It was all right. It wasn't like, the same high level as like, the Avengers movies, but still there's a lot of future stuff coming with the Eternals, and I really think it's in the real world, it's a good comic book as well, nice and solid. You can pick it up for 32 gems. It's a really a key comic that you probably want to have, and so you can pick it up right now. It's under 30. It's 32 gems. It's a really good deal, right? Anyway, that's my number 8. Number 7. Here we go with another really great vintage comic from the olden days. It's Tales of Suspense number 57, first appearance of Hawkeye. You can get this one for $34.98. And I know the uncommon is also under 50 as well, if you wanted to get that extra quarter of a point. I put the original covers on this list because, I just love the original covers as well. But for Master Collector and stuff, the uncommons are better and lower edition sizes, right? So anyway, $34.98 for this great comic book. First appearance of Hawkeye. We just had his show. Definitely an awesome pickup for under 50 gems in the marketplace, right? All right, number 6 on my list. We got another Spider-Man comic, The Ultimate Spider-Man #1. This comic actually sells really fast, and it's gone up in value a lot in the last like week or two. It's 39 gems right now. It used to be like 20 gems, 22 gems. This is another comic that about 2 weeks ago I actually stacked up. I was getting them for about 20 to 21. And then I had about like 8 or 9 of them. And then when it went up to about 27, 28, 29, I started to slowly sell them off. And I got those extra gems, that I could use. I really wanted to keep this one for Master Collector, but there's so many great drops coming, right? That I really just needed those extra gems that I wanted on profit. So anyway, now I just have it for holding for long term because it's a really great comic book series. 39 gems, and it's a Spider-Man #1 comic. You can't go wrong. Now let's get to my number 5. So my top 5. This is another Spider-Man comic under 50 gems. You start to notice a trend here. Spider-Man is really great for comic books. This is the Web of Spider-Man #118. First appearance of the clone of Spider-Man. Just read the storyline. It's fantastic. 38 gems as well for 21,000 editions. You can pick up the uncommon as well, I believe, for under 50. It's a really great comic book. Basically there's a clone of Spider-Man, and he's like, it doesn't go by Peter Parker, and there's a whole thing. You can get into it, and there is possibilities of this happening in the movies and stuff. So it's a first appearance of a specific Spider-Man, and that is not Peter Parker, right? Just like the Miles Morales comic, that's another Spider-Man that is not Peter Parker. So he's actually the Scarlet Spider, I believe. So it's not exactly Spider-Man, but anyway, it's a really great comic book for you to pick up for under 50 gems, in my opinion, right? I have one for sure. Okay, let's scroll up here. Number 4, okay? This is another really great comic, a big sleeper hit if you ask me. This is Avengers 47, okay? It's only going for $26.88, and there's a great comic book from back in the day. And of course, you have like the Black Knight, whose first appearance is in there. If you just watch the Eternals, by the way, you'll go to the end, you'll see a little spoiler there. I don't want to spoil it for you, but watch the Eternals and wait to the ending scene. You could probably just YouTube it as well. And for a good first appearance of a character in there, this comic could go up in value a lot, especially if what happens if they do stuff with that movie, with that character that I'm talking about. And by the way, the Guardians of the Galaxy, if you remember, nobody even really knew about them. Nobody cared about the Guardians of the Galaxy until they came out with a really good movie. And then all of their stuff went up, like Groot, and all that kind of stuff. So all it takes is one really good movie, one really good character. And, there's a lot of potential. So I put it in my top 5 just because there's a lot of potential there. And it's $26.88. Okay, let's scroll down to the next one. Number 3 on my list, okay? We got What If with #1, okay, with Spider-Man on the cover. 38 gems only in the market. I did another pick of this one where I had the uncommon. Okay, the uncommon is not under 50, it's above, but the uncommon only has like 3,600 editions, which is super low for an uncommon, crazy low. So I put that comic in one of my previous videos. And anyway, you can get the common version of this, and of course the What If TV series, that was on the Disney Plus channel. They did one season of it. It was really well received. That's where we got our Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. That's where we got other characters and stuff like that. The Watcher, So this comic book is really key in my opinion because they're going to be making a lot more What If shows, and it's a great pickup in the app for under 50 for 38. Definitely one you want to grab in my opinion for sure. Number 2 on my list, now we start getting into some of the really, really heavy-duty ones that I believe are just big time. They're really big time in the real world, and you can still get it for under 50 gems in the app right now. I think it's crazy. This is Amazing Spider-Man #14, first appearance of Goblin. This is a big comic in the real world, and it hasn't translated in regards to thousands of dollars in the app yet, but we're still so early in the app. And it's only going for 44 gems right now, the common. There's 49,000 editions of this. So stereotypically in the past, we've said, oh, that's got a ton of edition sizes. But if you watch my video from 2 videos ago, that large edition sizes, they're not really in the app anymore. This edition size compared to the amount of users is actually not big, okay? It's bigger than others, but it's not big. There's not a lot of people who can get this comic book, if you think about it, if we all had it. So watch my video about how like large edition sizes don't exist anymore. It's just a thing that's happening, and so I wouldn't worry about that 49,000 at all. You know, that it's actually, this comic book has risen in value in the last like week and a half or so. Used to be around 25, 24. This is another one that I did my little thing where I stacked a bunch of them. This is about 2 weeks ago. I was getting them for 22, 24, and it's just such a beautiful comic. I like stacked up a whole bunch of them, and then when it got over 30 to like 35, I started to slowly sell them, but I definitely kept a few because like this is one that I'm holding long term for sure. Anyway, that's my number 2, but my number 1 on the list right now I think is a really great steal, even better than that one. This is the big one for me. This is Avengers 57 with the first appearance of Vision. This is such an iconic comic book in the real world, such beautiful cover art. I had this comic book on my, most beautiful comic book covers, video I did a couple days ago. Check that one out. It's such great art. It's going for 42 gems only. The uncommon is just a little bit over 50, I believe. So, you can still pick that one up for a really good price. 21,000 editions, one of the most iconic comic books that we have in terms of art, and you still get it for under 50. All of these comic books, in my opinion, are going to be going up in value. They're already going up. This one will be over 50 at some point soon. I have a couple. I just keep them. These ones aren't for flipping for me or anything like that. This one is just for having, right? Because it's so gorgeous. Anyway, and by the way, you can read it too, right? That's what I love about these comics, is you can read it. So let's just scroll back through my list right here, okay? We got, like I said, Avengers 57. Okay, that's my number 1 pick. Amazing Spider-Man 14, so undervalued. We got the What If number 1 with all the shows coming up still. You got the Avengers 57, the great first appearance. Watch the Eternals end scene. You got Web of Spider-Man number 118, a first Spider-Man appearance, okay, with a non-Peter Parker Spider-Man. Okay, basically a Spider-Man. You got Ultimate Spider-Man number 1, so you got a number 1 Spider-Man comic in the app for under 40. Number 6 right now, like I said, is the first appearance of Hawkeye, great comic in the real world. You got Eternals number 1. They just came out with that movie. They're doing much more with the characters, and the collectibles of the Eternals in the app as well are rising, right? Anyway, so number 8, like I said, you got this great storyline, Amazing Spider-Man comic with Kraven the Hunter on the cover. So great at 30. And then my number 10, which, for me, like, I put this at number 10 because it's not exactly an amazing key comic or anything, but the cover art is so gorgeous for me. I just love it, and it sells like super fast. It's already up to $27.80, right? You can get these right now. Now, just so you know, I actually read this entire storyline again over last night on my phone. I was, ready to go to bed, and it was like about midnight, and I was checking out the marketplace as well, and I opened up the comic. I'm like, I'm just going to read through the whole thing, and I went issues, like the parts 1 all the way to 6. Such an unbelievable storyline, and then of course it continues in Amazing Spider-Man. The series that came out with it continues with not the Amazing Spider-Man, sorry, but just Spider-Man, the comic book that was illustrated by Todd McFarlane, and he did the first run of them. It's just Spider-Man. I believe it's like Spider-Man number 3 or number 4. I'll look that up for you. Sorry, I don't want to give you the wrong one. But the storyline continues right there a little bit with Kraven as well, which is crazy. And so anyway, it's such a great read. I recommend sitting down and reading it. Anyway, that's my top 10 of the best comics under 50 gems. Please let me know in the market. Please let me know in the comment section down below what you think are your favorite comics. If there's better ones in the top 50 that I missed, I'd love to hear about them. I know everybody else would love to hear about them too. Just write it in the comments down below for sure. Or if there's other comics that you just want to point out that are really fantastic, that you think are undervalued to pick up, even if they're not under 50 gems, maybe they're just a bit over 50 gems. I mean, some comics are even better. They're like 52 and 50, but I had to cut it off. I wanted to cut it off at the 50 gem mark. But if I went up to like, say, 55 or 60 gems, there's a few more comics that are fantastic to pick up. And like I said, every comic on this list, almost all of the uncommons are also still under 50, so you can pick those up as well. So just let me know in the comments and let everybody know. We all want to know like what we should be going for, and there's little ones that we haven't seen yet, maybe that we've forgotten about. please like put them in there. But that's what this list is for. Also, like the video if you want. That'd be great. And if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe if you want to see more. I'm trying to put out videos like this all the time, and you'll get the notification first if you're subscribed, right? You can also follow me, like I said, in the app. Just find the Dark Hawk comic #1 rare edition. Okay, I posted one for sale for 100,000 gems, and no one's gonna buy that. So if you go there, you can scroll, you can see me, MyCollectables CA. I will follow you in the app back. I keep saying this in every video. Anyone who follows me, I'll follow you back. I want to see what you're doing as well. And I'm also on Instagram if you want to check that out. Anyway, thanks a lot for the view. Let me know what you think. I hope you have a great day, and good luck on the mini drop coming up. And happy collecting.